I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Open my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry or why. Oh, I'ma cry or why. I'ma cry or why. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. I don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. I don't know if I can remember. where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all amount. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We're back with another Sold Out Live, another Sold Out podcast on this Wednesday, man. Y'all smash that like button, sub up to the channel if you're new, and if you haven't done so already, of course, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and what I normally do is make content about sneakers. Occasional trial hauls, y'all know we got Music Monday, which we just had, so we were talking to Diddy Trial, but tonight, man, we're talking to sneaker talk per usual, man. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I only got like 3 main topics. I only plan to be on this joint for like an hour at best. Y'all know how I go through this joint, and I'll be back live again on Saturday. Of course, sign up for that sold out Discord. Link is pinned at the top of the chat. It's free to sign up. Or of course, we continue the sneaker talk, but we got a food section, a sports section, you name it, right? Okay, and y'all know I've been keeping up with the playoffs to the best of my ability. The Knicks lost last night to the best of my knowledge, man. One game away. If they don't make some shake, it's going to be very interesting. And of course, tonight we got the Timberwolves versus OKC. We'll see how that goes as well. Same thing with them, man. They got to really make some shake. But it looks like the series are going to be very, very interesting for sure for the people that's been keeping up with that. But enough of that, man. Let's just talk the sneaker talk. Y'all seen my latest pickups for sure. Hope you guys enjoyed the on feed and the reviews. That took a lot of work, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. The grind don't stop, and we definitely got more on the way, but I'm going to save that more for like upcoming sneaker releases toward the end of the live. Probably like the last 5 or 10 minutes, we'll talk upcoming sneaker releases. And then also, the first is right around the corner. I want to say it's on Thursday. Don't quote me on that, but no, not Thursday, but it's on Sunday. My bad. I don't know why I said Thursday because probably tomorrow's Thursday, but I want to say it's on Sunday. So I'll be doing my top anticipated upcoming sneaker releases on that as well for the month of June, man. If you think about it, we're already getting towards that halfway month of the year already. I will say this, man. Usually in the beginning of the year, things starts off slow and it just picks up out of nowhere, and you look back and be like, where has the year gone, right? Okay. But tonight's topic, man, let's just dive in. I wouldn't have been covering this one for a minute, but VF Corporation, which is the people that holds like Vans, they used to have Supreme over there, but looks like their shares have pretty much went for a more sink, right? Okay, so we're going to be talking now, and this is actually from May 21st. We've been having so many other topics beforehand, so I'm going to start there with this one. And then, of course, Dick's Sporting Goods, with its recent purchase to Foot Locker, they're saying Nike is a very important strategic partner to have in the Q1 results. So we'll see how that goes as well. I think I do got another article slightly on that one that I didn't finish before. So if we can get to that one, we will. And then, of course, before we even get to that, we're going to be talking Trumps, right? Okay. Looks like they're pushing for relief for pretty much the Vietnam tariffs to take talks as they resume back in June, which is right around the corner if you think about it. Now, the tariff talks, we have took a break from it, but to be fair, it hasn't been like nothing's been set in stone that we know of, right? I know some people have made some deals, but if you think about some of our major places where we get stuff from is Vietnam. Check some of your sneakers, right? Not all, but check some of them. I guarantee you're going to see probably made in Vietnam in some of them, right? Okay. This can make a big difference for the people who don't understand how tariffs work. It's one of those low key, it's what we pay to get the shoes here. And if the company's got to pay more, you know how it trickle downs upon the little guy like us, right? Okay. And I'm going to just leave it right there at that one. So pretty much that's going to be the main topics of the live. And then, of course, we'll talk Dick's Sporting Goods too. I'll probably do that one probably the last like 15 minutes of the live for sure. But other than that, as y'all coming out, y'all smash that like button. Really means a lot. And sub up. Let's see what we got in the chat real quick, and then we'll get the party started. Because like I said, man, it don't take long to get through these lives when you really get into the action, man. So again, hopefully I will have some more unboxing for you guys. I know I got at least another sneaker on the way that you guys may or may not know about. I'm gonna say this, y'all don't know, but y'all won't be surprised. And then hopefully we do have those rare airs coming Friday. So I really would like to get my hands on those, and then I'm gonna take me a little break. You know what I mean? Not content wise, but just spending wise, right? I'm gonna leave it right there. But let's see what we got in the chat real quick. Long Beach Joe Jets and says salutes in respect to Polo in the chat. Let's get it. What up, Long Beach? Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out. Let's see. Divine Photos in the building says, what up, Polo? Divine says, even Mike Rich said those Rare Air 3s are better than the 4s. I like the threes. They have grown on me. I've talked to a person at work that's like an OG sneakerhead, and even they said they've grown on them as well. Now, this one, my thing is, I still think the fours. We haven't seen them yet. We've seen mock-ups and we've seen images and stuff like that, but obviously the fours gonna do what they're gonna do too. So to be honest, in a perfect world, I would like to have the rare air threes, and I would also like to have the rare air fours. Um, we do see that they have them on Foot Locker. I did enter a raffle for DTLR. So if I can hit on Foot Locker, then yeah, DTLR I won't have to pick up. But if I do hit on DTLR, then I'm gonna go pick the joint up and hopefully mall vlog it. So Friday could be an interesting day for sure. But I'm hoping it be's like kind of smooth. But I mean, to be honest, out of the rare air series, I would say this coming out the gate. At least they got the small stuff. I guess you can say the ones they know that were gonna move but not be so popular. And I would say the ones, right? Remember they did the ones, and I was like, not for me. But they did move, so they have already done the ones. And here we are, we're going on the threes, and then we got the fours. So I mean, it only makes sense. They're gonna come back with the bangers. I think the fours will do what they typically do, man. Y'all see what we've seen with the white cement fours. Now, I don't know if we've seen the rare air fours like in hand and video just yet, but everybody, and I hate to compare them to the white cements because I know it's like something completely like apples and oranges. But as a person who was like, I didn't think I was gonna trip if I didn't get the white cement fours, but looking back on it, I'm glad I did what I had to do to get mine. You know what I mean? Because they look so much better than like the pair I had, the 2016 pair. Let's see. Devon says, you seen those up and coming Nigel 1 lows in the red bottom? No, but you know what? Now that you mention it, I'm going to put it up and look it up on the screen. So I'll save it towards the end of the live. And we will see what it looks like. You said it's a red bottom. I'm going to just Google it just like that. See if I can find the images somewhere. Give me like 2 seconds real quick because again, this is what the lives is for, man. We all learn together over here. Let me see images. Let's see. I'm looking like we've seen these right here. Yeah, I think these are it. Most definitely. I see a red bottom on them. I'll give you my thoughts towards the end of the live. You know what I mean? And I mean, yeah, I'll give you my thoughts towards the end of the live. Don't hate them, but, we'll see how it goes. Other than that, I think we should just go ahead and dive into tonight's topic. Let's start with VA Corp real quick. That's the company that used to have Supreme. They had Ray-Bans, which I think they end up selling those too. Don't quote me on none of this. This is all alleged and opinionated based because we've been keeping up with this, and that's why I wanted to make sure I start with this story first because it's one of those, not saying I've been putting off, but it's kind of one of those, we know there will probably be more to come with this one. And again, Supreme have been trying to make their bounce back, but I still feel like it ain't hitting the same way too. I feel like we're going to have a story on that one come pretty soon. But let me share my screen here. Give me like 2 seconds, and then we will dive right in. Boom, you guys should be seeing my screen. Of course, as always, you guys let me know if audio and visual is okay. Looks good on my end, but also it's very important to see what you guys are watching as well. But it says, shares of Van's parent company, VF Corp, sink after quarter 4 revenue miss. So pretty much they are, a company and a business to make monies. You know what I'm saying? If they're losing money, then yeah, it's kind of one of those, everybody got to feel it, from the employees to the owners and what have you. You know what I mean? Usually the employees first, like the smaller employees, then it works his way up to the top. Sometimes they do it from the top to the bottom. Pause. It says the company reported net revenue of $2.14 billion, down 5% from $2.25 billion the same time last year. So I mean, they're still $1 billion company. Let's just keep it 100. They're just probably used to seeing way more money. And looks like now that things taking a dive, somebody got to feel it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean I don't feel like the company itself is, it is what it is. It says update. Also, they have North Face over there too, to the best of my knowledge, right? It says updated 422 EST, which that's Eastern Standard Time to the best of my knowledge, or Eastern Time. I guess that would be because we don't have the S in it. Says shares for Timberland and Vans parent company VF Corp sank 15.8% on Wednesday after its fourth quarter results fell below expectations. The stock landed at $12.15, leaving the company with a market capitalization of $4.7 billion. So again, these are still big numbers, but companies either, let me put it this way, they don't want to go down. They either want to always keep going up, but worst case scenario for them, plateau, where cool, we still hitting the same mark, but what can we do different? But with them taking a dive, that's not always the most best thing. But it doesn't mean the company, I feel like, is in no way, shape, or form probably going out of business. Now, I just think that with the market of the sneaker community, no disrespect, like people are really into the J's and stuff like that. And to be honest, right, if we're going to really play devil's advocate, all the companies are feeling it, not just the sneaker companies, but sneaker companies in general, because we're going to keep it about sneaker content. They're all feeling it because even Nike's numbers have went down. They're probably going back up because they're doing a great job. I feel like and I hate to bring Nike into this, but you got to compare what I guess you can say the top dog is to what these guys are, right? Vans is a actual sneaker. You know what I'm saying? It's a skate sneaker. But, at one point, Vans was that shoe where it became more versatile than over the years than what it once was. When I grew up, Vans was like, if you wasn't a skateboarder, I didn't really want to see you in them. I had several pairs of Vans. Dunks can vouch for that. But then we seen where Vans became like more than a skate shoe. It became like a casual shoe, And that's not a bad thing. But now, tapping into it, a lot more people are into other brands. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of the young bucks, they're liking Adidas stuff, whether we realize it or not. But my generation, and I feel like the generation slightly underneath me, pause, and of course the one over me, pause, they're into J's and they're into Nikes. That's why Nike's still up there. You know what I'm saying? Where we at real quick, Manny with the kicks just entered the building, says, "Yerp, what up, Manny's? What up? Back to the article real quick at hand. It says, in the fourth quarter of the fiscal 2025, the Denver-based company reported a net revenue of $2.14 billion, down 5% from the $2.25 billion the same time last year. This was below the analysts' expectations, which were between $2.15 billion and $2.23 billion, according to the Yahoo Finance. I remember, off mode but on mode, I remember when Yahoo actually used to be the search engine like Google, and then, some legal stuff happening, and then now we got Google. But, Yahoo obviously still has a place over there, and they're still doing their thing. Don't want to take away from them. Back to the article, it says the company also saw an operating loss of $73 million, or a loss of 39 cents per share, versus an operating loss of $373.4 million, or a loss of $1.06 per share. This was slightly better than the analysts' expectations, which were calling for a net loss of 14% a share in the fourth quarter. So, they didn't do as bad as people had estimated them to be, but they still definitely took a dive. And again, like I was just saying, a company don't want to take a dive. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, if we really go across the board, not just companies, but just in general, everybody's numbers is not the same. If you look at the stuff that used to be up there, from your music to YouTube streams to, what have you. Now, I know there's an exception to the rule where some people got the TikTok videos that's going up there. I remember when they were talking about they were going to get rid of TikTok, but here we are going, 5 months in, TikTok's still here. I'm going to put it this way. If it brings in money, it's going to stay. If it brings in real money, it's going to be hard to get it removed, even if things are slowing down. And also, you think also, what's the joint now? The streaming company that they do, Twitch, right? Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. That one's taking off like a rocket as well. You know what I'm saying? Again, there's an exception to each and every rule when it comes to the numbers. Some people just going to strive and always be great no matter what. Some people got to feel it across the board overall as a whole. Even if you got, I always say this about this, right? For work purposes and just in general when we're talking teams and stuff, a lot of these people where we're like technically not on the same team, but they kind of are. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, you're only doing as well as your next competitor. You know what I'm saying? Your competitor could be striving way better than you, but you should be, a good runner-up. You know what I'm saying? If the top dog is feeling it, all the rest of them got to feel it too. If Nike's feeling it, they got to make some changes. All the companies that are kind of like not on the level of Nike, they got to feel it some too, even if they take a little bit of like a ramp up. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this thing about this. If Nike's getting 100 billion each and every year, which I don't know their exact number, but if they're getting 100 billion and you just not touch a billion, that's still a big jump, you know. But let me get back to the article. It says, by brand, the North Face saw a net revenue of $834 million, up 2% from the $814.3 million in the fourth quarter of 2024. Advanced net revenue was $492.6 million, down 22% from the $631.2 million the same year. Timberland reported net revenue of $376 million, up 10% from the $341.5 million, while Dickies saw a net revenue of $139.03 million, or 3 million, not cents, but 139.3 million, down 14% from 162.24 million in the prior year. BFC, which is pretty much BF Corp's other brands division, saw net revenues tick 1% to $301.5 million from $297.09 million the same last year. So I forgot Dickies actually fall up on that, but I knew North Face fell up on them. I knew Timberland fell up on them. And Dickies, believe it or not, that was a brand that I used to rock a lot too. Like whenever I wanted some diehard, just good khaki pants, like work pants. Like Dick's Sporting Goods was known as workwear. And what I like about them being workwear is like, even if you worked outside, it works. If you worked inside, it works. I've had at least, actually all of my jobs, now that I think about it, Dickies were acceptable. There were that versatility across the board. From working my regular retail jobs to working, I guess, quote unquote, the, more corporate jobs now, you can still get away with some Dickies because they had something a little bit for everybody. I remember at one point, no cap, I had an all Dickie khaki suit. I had a black joint and a khaki joint. And I think I sold it like a few years ago once I realized I was no longer like, you know me, if I haven't put something on in like at least like 2 or 3 years, I'm like, bro, I'm not going to sit here and just let it collect dust unless it's something of sentimental value, because there's an exception to every rule. But let's get the party started. Let's keep it going. It says, where we at? It says, by region, BFC saw declines in most areas of the world, and the Americas reporting the revenue in the fourth quarter of $995.2 million, which is down 6% from the $1.06 billion the same time last year. In the Europe, Middle East, and African region, net revenue was $812.3 million, down 4% from the $849.6 million in the same quarter of last year, while the Asia Pacific region net revenue was flat from the last year of $336.2 million. It says for the full fiscal year, the 2025 BF Corp reported the net revenue of $9.5 billion, a 4% decline from $9.92 billion in the fiscal 2024 year. Now, again, doesn't sound like a lot, but that 0.2 and all that and the 4% to them, that's big numbers to them. You know what I'm saying? Looks like Manning with the kick says Joe Jets and Divine salutes. What up? As y'all come in and out. So again, doesn't sound like a lot, but it is for them. It says the company also turned a profit for the year with an operating profit of $303.8 million in 2025, or 18% per share, up from the operating loss of $143.93 million, or a loss of 2.62 per share in 2024. So again, they've taken a dive, but I mean, it's not one of those like they didn't fall flat to zero. But these are numbers that they pay attention to that can make or break some of their investors that have into them. You know what I'm saying? If they lose more investors, numbers could go down too. You got to look at it from that point of view as well. Where we at real quick? Timberland reported a net revenue in 2025 of $1.6 billion, up 3% from the $1.56 billion, while Dickies saw a revenue of $542.1 million, down 12% from the $618 million prior year. VF Corp's other brands division saw net revenue of 2% to $1.3 from $1.28 billion the same time last year. Regions of Americans reported the revenue of $4.83 billion, down 7%. of 5.17 billion in the fiscal 2024. In the EMEA region, net revenue declined 3%, 3.25 billion. So again, I won't say this is dramatic falls, but again, enough where people are paying attention to this right here. And then Bracken Darrell, President and Chief Executive Officer of the VFC, said in a statement that revenue in this quarter, it was in line with the company's guidance, and excluding Vans was up versus last year, led by growth in the North Face and Timberland. So again, they got to come out and say something positive. You don't want to come down and you know, I'll say this, growing up, I was always saying, like, even when you're down, you still go up there and you hold your head up. You know what I'm saying? You don't accept defeat until it's over. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's nowhere near over for these guys, but also I was taught you don't show weakness, and that's what this guy, he's delivering a professional message as he is, because even if they was to say get rid of him or whatever, you know what I mean? They're still going to, like, he wants to find some other form of work, I'm sure, you know, and he could have it like that. It says, adjusting for the revenue impact to Vans from deliberate strategic actions to establish a strong foundation for future growth and improved profitability, the decline in the brand's Q4 in 2025 revenue was consistent with the Q3 2025 trend, Darrell said, and the transformation of the VF as well as underway. Where we at real quick, let's see, Devon says, what up, Manny? Let's see, Devon Photo says, what's good, Long Beach? Long Beach says, salutes to Manny and Devon. That's what's up. So pretty much, again, I'm going to finish up the last part of this article, and then we'll talk the Trump's, pretty much what we're going on currently as far as, like, tariffs, because we got to talk tariffs, and then we'll wrap it up with Dick's Sporting Goods. It says, looking ahead for the company expects net revenue in the first quarter of the fiscal 2026 to decline between 3 and 5%, with an operating loss of between $110 million and $125 million. We are well positioned to navigate increased vulnerability in the macro environment, and I am confident that the actions we are talking will enable our brands to return the growth and the VF to deliver a strong, sustainable, valued creation, the CEO added. So pretty much he's in positive spirits, and that's what you're supposed to be, right? Okay, because at the end of the day, they want to bounce back. What company's going to sit back and say they don't want to bounce back? You know what I'm saying? Again, some companies will not know when it's time to, like, throw it in the towel. But then some companies feel like, yo, we've been down before. We can figure this out, you know, with the right team. Ironically, it makes me think of Foot Locker. Didn't they get sold to Dick's Sporting Goods? You know what I'm saying? So again, Foot Locker feel like they have given it their all. They cut stores. They did what they had to do. You know what I mean? But we'll see how it goes right here. Let's talk this tariff talk. And of course, you see we got the man on the screen here. Make America great again. FDRA pushes Trump for relief as Vietnam tariff talks resume in June. Keep in mind, he had a 3-month pause on it. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much we're coming up towards the end of the pause. Now, I will say this. One thing about this administration, and I use the word loosely here. I don't care who you voted for. I will say this. They have given people extensions. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. They will change stuff where they say one thing and then, like, all right, cool, we'll give them another month. You know what I mean? Like, just to get the heat off, too. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'm saying that I wouldn't be surprised. Let's get through this article real quick. This just dropped May 28th, which is today. It says, bilateral trade talks between U.S. and Vietnam to resume early June as FDRA reminds Trump administration that footwear needs strategic tariff relief. Again, this is one of those, I think they sent the letter up. Nike and all the other brands had their name and signature on it, trying to say, like, okay, cool, exempt us because majority of our products come from there. And if we don't get an exemption, we're going to have to raise our prices for the customers. Now, this is my thing right here, right? Clearly, they are already charging too much, you know, in my opinion. But at the same time, the company's probably got a lot of invested in stuff now where obviously to keep the doors on and what they got and all that special stuff, nobody wants to spend more money, you know, like dramatically like this, because these tariffs, they're not like a 1 and 2 and 6% type of thing. We're talking triple digits here. And that can mean, you know, that ain't even double. That's like a lot, you know, if you think about it. It says the Footwear Distributors and Retailers of America is hoping it can secure some reset and trade policy for the footwear sector. And in recent months, President Donald Trump has disclosed the information or implementation of radical tariffs and then walked back on the higher duties by putting them on hold for an average of 90 days. And while it can be argued that even at the temporary reduced rates, the tariffs are still too high for footwear, the time frame for the freeze does give countries a period to allow for talks centered on the renegotiation of trade agreements. So most of them, from what I got from it, he said that there are talking. Again, this is what the president has put out and the administration put out. I think even China is supposed to be talking. And I feel like they had this, and I can't prove because I don't work for there, so this is alleged, but I had a feeling that they were going to need this 90-day extension anyway because, I mean, you put it on there dramatically. How many times do you warn people? Keep in mind, we're only 5 months in, you know what I'm saying? Moves like this, and I will say the president is moving very swiftly, but moves like this usually takes months, you know, and I'm talking, let me clarify it because it's months. It usually takes a couple years to get things figured out, you know what I mean? At least in a peaceful manner. But, you know, we do got a different administration in there. It seems like they're a little bit more, you know, I'll say it nicely aggressive. It says, we applaud President Trump for taking a more thoughtful and strategic approach to the tariff policy. Clearly listen to the concerns we've shared and the conversations we've led. One that acknowledges the real world challenges we face in the footwear industry. The FDRA president and CEO, Matt Priest, on Wednesday. For too long, outdated tariffs have driven up costs for working families and threatened jobs across our industry. This shift in direction is both refreshing and necessary. So it looks like they're treading lightly with how they respond to the president and the tariffs, which I can't blame them because a guy who can make such a big impact and decision, do you really want to upset him? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to, what's the saying? Bite the hand, don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know what I'm saying? They're not technically feeding them directly, but, you know, Nike them, everybody's kind of don't want to see super dramatic changes without at least within reason, I would think. Priest, and this is Matt, if I'm not mistaken, noted that increasing footwear manufacturing in the U.S. isn't feasible due to the constraints involving supply chain, labor, and cost. So there you go right there. That line, that whole sentence lets you know while the president has come out and say like, well, guys, if you don't want to pay the tariffs, get the factories built up over here, hire more jobs, bring in this and a third. While that sounds great because we could use it over here, but here's the problem. The reason I would think these companies don't want to do it, and you can insert the blank right here, right? If you get people to come over here, if they get their shoes made over here, which we do have some doing it like New Balance to the best of my knowledge, allegedly, but if you get a company like that's already charging like that, and they bring it over here, and they got to rely on more people, I'll say this. If we got a problem with backdooring, you know, botting, people breaking into the warehouses when they get over here, if somebody works in the factory where they make the shoe at, you know, over here in the U.S., and it's a super dope shoe, who's to say they won't make a few extra pairs for their family? You know, even though it's like, well, Nike usually say like, all right, cool, we only want X amount of made, give us the best ones that are made, and then the remaining pair, whatever. Now, I would assume over here they would want some policy like burn it, but again, they were probably like, well, we can reuse the material, but, you know, how are you going to, you got to trust the human to do all this, you know? And not saying you can't, but everybody, let me put it this way. If you got kids or you're a sneakerhead working in a place where they make the sneakers and you're making a fresh pair of Travis Scotts, I would not, I'm going to say this, it's going to cross your mind, what do I got to do to get a pair? I work here, I feel like I just, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that goes into play, you know, whether people want to admit that or not. And we're not talking no one particular company. We're just talking in general, you know what I'm saying? So don't let that be a surprise to you. Let's see where we are real quick. Let me read through the rest of this article. It says, and on Sunday, let's say he said it isn't feasible due to constraints involving supply chain, labor, and cost. And on Sunday, even Trump, to the dismay of the National Council Textile Organizations, acknowledged that what products might be best made stateside. He says, "We're not looking to make sneakers and t-shirts. We want to make military equipment." Okay, so looks like he may cut them a break, but this is a quote right here. It says, "We want to make big things," Trump said. Pause. To reporters as he was about to board an Air Force One, he elaborated, "I'm not looking to make t-shirts, to be honest. I'm not looking to make socks. We can do that very well in other locations. We are looking to do chips, computers, and a lot of other things, and tanks and ships." So they're looking at technology and stuff that, we could use probably over time, long term. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, what we need to do is make some better quality planes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these planes are not necessarily new. And let me clarify this. That doesn't mean because a plane is old, it's not good. But we know the planes are expensive to maintain and or just build in general. You know what I'm saying? It's easier said than done too. And probably takes God knows how long. You know what I mean? But it would be nice to see we get some new technology in that space as well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these planes and stuff like that, you want to make sure it's just like a vehicle. You got to make sure you stay on top of it. And that's why it's so important. I've been on ones where it was kind of weird. I've been on ones where when we landed, the pilot came out and he says, "Oh, hell no, I want this checked ASAP." You know what I'm saying? Knock on wood, don't want to be on any more like that. Where we at real quick, Priest said that the recognition by Trump and his administration of those constraints gives the U.S. an opportunity to both reset decades of misguided trade policies and move footwear sector forward with smart, targeted solutions. Says, "We're encouraged by the president's leadership and urge to administration to stay on this path," the FDRA CEO said. "By embracing a modern, pragmatic trade framework, the U.S. can support consumers, protect American jobs, and finally put the footwear industry in the right track." So again, they're still saying indirectly, but they're saying they're probably not they're trying to get better deals across the board. And sometimes, according to the president, we may feel a slight sting, but we're going to bounce back. I mean, he's being confident on it. Now, how things are going, only they really know fully behind the scenes, because they only know what we tell us, because we're not always there. It says, as for what happens when the first of the 90-day pause period for most global radical tariffs ends on July 9th. So most of the tariffs are going to end on July 9th. Anyone's guess. Last Friday, Trump threatened on social media a straight 50% tariff on the European Union, beginning on June 1st, when he became frustrated that talks between the U.S. and the EU were going nowhere. So pretty much it says, but then on Monday, he agreed to restore the July 9th deadline to allow the talks to continue between the U.S. and the 27-member non-bloc. Says thus far, U.S. reached a trade deal with UK earlier this month. So UK them has already said, all right, cool. We got, but we don't. Majority of our stuff don't come from over there though. I mean, I'm not saying we don't get stuff from there, but that's not like if you look at China and stuff like that, it's like almost 60% of our stuff that come from there. So the other countries are probably like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We do this for you guys, but we, you know what I'm saying, and we'll be okay. But I would assume China and them know how much weight they have. A lot of this stuff they know gets over here. It says, in the background, there are talks of occurring between the U.S. and a number of other countries. One source told Footwear News that the negotiations in progress involved several dozen countries, but the individual declined to disclose the countries' names. This person did not indicate there is pressure to get deals done by the timeline due to uncertainties over whether Trump would extend the deadline or put rates back up to their radical level. So radical because, he's putting them up there like real tariffs. Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett said on May 18th that the tariff rates would raise levels. Trump threatened on April 2nd if countries failed to reach trade agreements during the 90-day pause. I mean, again, I anticipate that obviously some other countries are probably going to step up and play ball, but they may have to extend it for another like 90-day pause. You know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, he paused it for 90 days. This time he'll probably pause it for 60 days. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm going to say it's Vietnam were the bulk of, there you go. See, I told you. Vietnam, China, and them, they're very, very important. It says, where the bulk of athletic performance footwear is produced, concluded a second round of tariff talks in Washington last Thursday on the bilateral agreement of the radical trade between Vietnam and the U.S. According, in the industry and trade. It says, according to May 22nd statement from the Vietnam Ministry of the Industry and Trade, the two negotiating delegations led to Vietnam Minister, and this is, I want to say, Woon Hong Den. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. God forgive me if I just butchered that guy's name. I'm super sorry. But it pretty much says, and U.S. Representative Ambassador Jameson Gleer made positive progress identifying issues of the agreement and reaching consensus on the matters that need further discussion. The two sides also set timeframes for feedback on the draft agreement, proposed and organized online meetings to prepare for the next negotiation session in early June 2025. So that was a quick update on the tariffs real quick. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see another slight little pause on them. But, Trump still, he's not going to come out trying to look like he's made the mistake or anything like that. And again, if they're really making progress and really trying to make some change for the better of the whole country, then by all means, I'm for it. But at the same time, the delivery is very interesting. Again, I don't care who you voted for, and I'm not here to tell you to pick which side or whatever, right? Let's get to the last article real quick, and then we'll talk upcoming sneak releases. So for the last 15 minutes, we're talking dicks. Pause. CEO Lauren Herbert says Nike is a very important strategic partner following the quarter run results. It says the retailer cited a strength in Nike's running pipeline where the Pegasus Premium and Vero 18 sneaker styles have been selling out online. So I haven't personally had the Vomeros. Now I think Manny with the Kicks has a pair, and I've heard the comfortability on them is awesome. Now the Pegasus joints, I've had some Pegasus for the gym in the past, but I haven't had Pegasus in years. Pause, because that definitely don't sound right. It says, as Dick's Sporting Goods wraps up a strong first quarter, analysts are eager to hear more about the retailer's position on Nike as the company brings Foot Locker into the fold later this year. So pretty much Dick's Sporting Goods, to the best of my knowledge, they bought Foot Locker. So that's that next level up of what they're bringing to it. I'm very curious what changes they will bring to the company. So, I mean, they're in talks of buying the company, and looks like, again, to buy a company like this and you're making a big sale like this, it ain't one of those, part of it, you got to show you had the money. Then they set up some type of setup in the agreement and make sure everything crossed over. But now this is my thing. We see what JD Sports has been doing when they bought all those companies and merged them and this, that, and the third. And I'm talking, if you think JD Sports, because we've been keeping up with this stuff for a minute. That's why I'm able to spit it off the top of the dome. Pause. But I said pause. Says, we're talking what? Yo, pause. I said that. I said pause. It was a joke. But, yeah. So, long story short, if you think of JD Sports, they got a lot of people under their hat, too. Finish Line, right? And now they're going to be moving Finish Line inside of Macy's. So, that's going to be a win. If I'm not mistaken, they have Hibbets. They have DTLR. You know what I'm saying? Those are all doing great. If I'm not mistaken, too, they have a lot of just the hood spots. Even if you think of I named the major ones they have, and I know they picked up Hibbets too, so they're doing great, And I will say this, with Dick's Sporting Goods picking up Foot Locker and what they bring to the table, we've been saying Foot Locker needs some revamping, and to be honest, what it seems like they're been revamping, but it's still not moving. I'll say this, probably what they've been lost and invested into the store. Not saying they're not making money, but they not making it probably as fast as they would like to make it. You know what I mean? A lot of Foot Locker chains close, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it, they had kids Foot Locker, ladies Foot Locker. They had If you think of East Bay, if you remember that used to be a thing. You know what I'm saying? Champs, you know what I'm saying? Foot Action. Yo, last time I went into a Foot Action, those people were like just standing there like, yo, we don't get. This the sad part is, I'm like, yo, ain't nobody popping up here. He's like to keep it 100. We don't get nothing really nobody wants. I'm like, yo, I got some nice stuff. And he's like, yes, this is like the general stuff, but I mean, like, they said that they when everybody was going crazy on the Air Jordan 5 reimagined joints, the black joints, the metallics reimagined, they said they ain't even get them. So it's like, yeah, I mean, if you ain't gonna bring the stuff that people is demanding, then yeah, you gotta understand that. Now we say Dick's Sporting Goods, and if Dunks was on the live, he's been supporting them too, low key, saying that I bet you for a fact when I talk to Dunks, he will be like, I'm not surprised to see this progress at all with Dick's Sporting Goods. It's kind of been one of those silent, like, movers that's just been doing great, but just still like that. It's like that little engine that won't give up. And now you see what you're saying over time. You see the progress. You know what I'm saying? And they bring in a lot of other stuff already other than just Nike. So acquiring to this, it's going to be a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because all honesty, if you got, especially during back to school, if you got a young buck and they got to go sneaker shopping and they want to play sports, it's all right there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're going to bring something different to the table. And then JD Sports and them, they got, I guess you can say, like more of the hip vibes to it. I think they even own Snipes too. Don't even quote me on that. You know what I'm saying? That's another one that we kind of let fly under the radar too when it's sometimes copping sneakers. Ironically, I was talking to the OG in my area that works with me, and he was saying that, you know, he actually has slipped on the white cements. He did, by the time he think about them, it was all gone. And I was like, dog, we don't got each other's numbers or nothing, but like low key, they literally just sold out like Tuesday, I want to say, fully. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like he would have hit me up and let me know he missed. He could, if he would have put in a little bit of footwork that day, but I don't think he knew where to go, you know, to get the joints. You know what I'm saying? He just was trying to pull them off sneakers and call it a day. But you know, I finally got my first W on sneakers this year, you know, and it's 5 months in. So I'm telling you, it's not as easy as it once was. Looks like Long Beach says, yep, I love that DSG got in. So pretty much, yeah, DSG is in. Like I said, I've gotten the Gary Paytons off there too. They've always been doing their thing on their own too. I think they're just moving just right. You know what I'm saying? Let me read through the rest of this article real quick. It says, according to Randall Kunuk, says equality analyst at Jefferies, Nike's stands to benefit from Dick's momentum as the swoosh focuses even more on its wholesale distribution. Dick's management emphasized that the relationship with Nike remains strategic, expressing continued satisfaction with the partners, wrote in a research note on Wednesday. This signals a frequent collaboration and alignment between the two companies, reinforcing Nike's importance within Dick's merchandising strategy. It says, added that sports goods retailers remain bullish on Nike's innovation pipeline, particularly in running and lifestyle categories. Dick's cited strength in Nike's running pipeline, where the Pegasus Premium and the Vomero 18 sneaker styles have been selling out online. The momentum supports Nike's product lead recovery strategy, the analyst wrote. I mean, to be honest, they ain't got nowhere to go but up, because if they're selling the stuff where, obviously, I feel like that's more like an athlete shoe. If you work out or what have you, why not? Sure, I get it. But, you know, for the people like me where I work out, but I don't ever be thinking about going to Dick's Sporting Goods. But to be honest, it probably would make sense. You know what I'm saying? I can find, but I want to be dripping the gym too. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's my problem. But a lot of people probably think how I used to think. Before I was like, I want some shoes that drip and that can do the same job, which is hard to find. I used to just go all out for like, I want the best like shoe for training and running. And I'm thinking, I guess the word to use here is innovation. I'm thinking technology in a shoe versus now. It's like, bro, I got my, you know, workout sessions how I want them. I know what shoes I feel like I can get away with. It says, and let me read the last part of this article, then we'll wrap things up here for the last 5 minutes and talk upcoming sneaker releases. It says, this echoes the segment shared by Dick's Sporting Goods president and chief executive officer Lauren Hobart, who affirmed on Wednesday quarter 1 earnings call with analysts that Nike is a very important strategic partner in the company. Nike continues to perform really, really well for us, Herbert said, as we look to the future, and we're headed about the same distribution changes. But one thing that we can say about Nike time in and time out is that they are very good at segueing their products. So we expect a minimal overlap within some of the new distribution. There's a lot of great stuff going on. It says, looking ahead of the footwear remains very strong business for Dick's Sporting Goods, according to the CEO, adding that this is a positive signal for Nike, which is a key brand in Dick's Sporting Goods footwear assortment. Moreover, a better run Foot Locker under Dick's leadership will be a net benefit of Nike by reinforcing its distribution strategy, solidifying its position in the athletic retail, Kunuk said in a note following that the announcement earlier this month that Dick's would scoop up Foot Lockers in the $2.4 billion deal. So again, I'm just reading it. I'm not the guy who wrote that. Where we at real quick, Man of the Kick says, sponsored by Richard Sports. Hey, I think I know what you're trying to get at, bro. Anyway, it says, Kunuk said earlier this month, as Nike CEO Elliott Hill strengthens its already robust relationship with Dick's, the consolidation of the two retailers could enhance Nike's retail presence and brand consistency. He noted that Nike leads the footwear sales at Dick's, a key growth in category that accounts for 28% of the sporting goods retailer's business, while the swoosh represents half of Foot Locker sales, underscoring the strategic importance of both channels to Nike wholesale strategy. This comes as Dick's Sporting Goods saw net sales increase 5.2% in the 3.8 billion in quarter 1 2025, up from the 3.2 billion or 3.02 billion in the same year ago period. Net income in the quarter ended in May 3rd, while was down 4% to 264 million or $3.24 per diluted share, compared to with the 2.7 million or the 3.30 per diluted share a year earlier, excluding one-time items related to the acquisition of Foot Locker. Dick's posted earnings per share of $3.37. It says, looking ahead, the company expects net sales for a full fiscal year in 2025 to be between $13.6 billion and $13.39 billion, with the earnings of per diluted share in the range of $13.80 to $14.40. Says for now, Dick's outlook doesn't exclude acquisition-related costs and or results for the Foot Locker merger, but does take in account for a current tariff-related expense. So again, they got to think about that too. And we're gonna talk upcoming sneaker releases here. We're finishing up right on time where I want to, but think about this too to close out on the Dick's Sporting Goods thing. Like, they're reporting what they can make, but they're not putting in what it's probably going to take to do a merge. One thing about a merge, I don't care what it is. I've done what we call, let's see, what am I looking for? Migration. So merge, migration, those words kind of go hand in hand. So there's going to have to be some form of migration now that another company's taking over. They're going to probably keep some of the stuff the same, but to be honest, if they want to see benefit, because obviously Foot Locker then was making money, but obviously felt well enough to sell. So my thing is this, they're probably thinking like, all right, cool. Let's get in here. We don't want to necessarily break things. We just want to improve things. And sometimes that means they're going to make some changes, which you know that's what it's going to be. So pretty much we'll see how it goes. This was kind of one of those, I feel like, shocked the sneaker culture a little bit. At least it shocked me because I'm like, well, Dick's Sporting Goods seem to be doing good. Foot Locker them took a little dive, but I mean, they seem to be holding up. Because keep in mind, they closed over, 400-something stores and remodeled some. You know, that's not cheap. You know what I'm saying? They still got to pay their people, too. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much that wraps up the live for tonight. Let's talk upcoming sneaker releases, then we'll wrap thing up here. This is the one Devon was talking about earlier. If I'm not mistaken, this is the Nigel 1 Lows. He said it's got a red bottom. So I'm assuming this is what it's got to be. Of course, I don't necessarily want to say I hate the story, but this is what I hate what they do with the Nigels, dog. And this is actually, I have to say, out of all the Nigels, I will say this one's not bad. I actually really, really like this one. But I hate that they do those little small Nike checks on the toe. I mean, I know he feels like that's his signature, but it's my thing. The reason I don't like the small Nike check on the toe, right, is because we already got a nice size check on the shoe in the middle of it towards the end. You know what I'm saying? Manny says, for flames. Like I said, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. However, it would be much better without that small Nike check on the toe box area. It's just not for me, dog. But overall, I don't hate it. It looks like they're gonna go with that, like he's been riding a bike theme type of ish or something or whatever. What's these little marks mean on the back? Look like we gotta go get the details on this too. So again, this is just now dropping out, and yeah, this will be very interesting. Here's another look at these guys right here. Don't hate them, but I don't know. It's some about it, you know. Let me hit the chat real quick, and then we'll get ready to wrap things up here for the night. Let me put myself back on the main screen because pretty much we're getting towards the end of that one. Been on this joint for like an hour. Should be back on the main screen right about now. Yep, cool. Boom. All right, cool. Let me touch the chat real quick. Long Beach Joe Jess says, Foot Locker has been slipping for a minute. The FLX app crap is awful, and it's a hassle of an experience to shop with them. I hope DSG makes a huge improvements. This is my thing. I agree. When they switched over to the FLX app or the Flex app, it was cheeks first starting. I stopped fucking with Foot Locker for a little bit, and then, you know, obviously you got to give it another shot. Well, you don't have to, but then I decided to give it another shot, and I started hitting a little bit more. But this is my thing. I liked it better when they had it where it was just a Foot Locker app, and they had two-factor authentication. Now, the thing is, I liked having that 10 minutes head start. I always had a 10-minute head start, or you can get a 7-minute head start, but then it's like, yo, those things are gone in 10 minutes. That's not fair. I mean, my thing is this. At best, they could have gave maybe the 10-minute head start and all that was a little too like long. Pause. But I mean, it's a lot of things like that. Their app and technology does need to be updated. Their website used to get heavily botted. You know what I'm saying? If it still doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, it's just time to see if they can bring something better over there and make your shopping experience better. The FLX app, I've been getting hit. And let's another thing I can point out about the FLX app, right? Remember, what was it? I think it was like the Cool Grade 9 joints that everybody thought they hit, but we didn't have the code, the little confirmation or confirm to set up to let them know that we want it. And then so a lot of us like, I don't know. And then the whole, everybody was calling the app like, you're going to get your points back, this and the third. And they apologized or whatever. I'm like, bro, see that little stuff like that. And then what I later found out, it still kind of technically happens from time to time. I mean, you can make sure your app is updated, but that's all you can about do. But one person said they hit, but they couldn't confirm it. But when they pulled up, they still let them get them anyway. So, I mean, but I didn't know you could do that. You know what I mean? That's just some things to think about. Many with the Kick says, I agree, Polo, but I'm still copping them. Like I said, I don't hate them. If I may cop too, because like I said, like Dunk said, you really can't go with an all-over black shoe. You can't really go wrong with it. And this could easily be my first pair of Nigels. One thing I do like, they didn't try to stress the bike air. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got it inside the shoe, but from what I see on the images, you know how sometimes Jordan Brand them just they'll put bike on both sides. Maybe on this one they'll have Air Jordan and put the bike on the back on the right heel or something like that. Something I had kind of been saying they should have done a long time ago. You know what I mean? Long Beach says, I had an experience with DLX where I put in for stores. I'm assuming you mean FLX. All good, because, yeah, the F is right next to the D. Pause. It says, I put in for stores that never got the shoe at all. What was the location of the app then? Yeah, what's the point? What's the point of the location of the app? Exactly. Now it's supposed to put you in the area where you can, or you can type in your own zip code if you want to. Like case in point, say if like you're traveling, but you know you're gonna be back in this spot. Yeah, you can put in for those stores. I usually put in for the stores that I'm used to going to. I said it because you said FLX, but you typed DLX, and I said it was next to the F, so I just like, yeah. my bad. But yeah, I'll say this. I put in for the ones that I'm familiar with in my area. I haven't really tried in any other area, but all that stuff can vary. But it is definitely time for them to do some updates to the app, just to be real, man. But let's go and wrap things up here for tonight. Let's see. Men of the Kick says, I regret selling my highs, so I need these. Actually, yeah, I remember we had the highs, man. And to be honest, while I didn't care for them, but they wasn't, like, looking back on what we're getting now, it makes those look great. You know what I mean? But let's wrap things up for tonight. I've been on this joint for 1 hour and 5 minutes. And yeah, pretty much this was a good one, man. I'll be back live again on Saturday. I see you, Long Beach says Polo is hilarious. I love this show. Appreciate it, homie. It really means a lot, man. Definitely keeps me motivated. So yeah, really like it. Says thank you for the great live, bruh. No problem. I'll be back live again on Saturday. More content on the way as well. Appreciate y'all for rocking with the kid. Definitely smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Sub up to the channel if you're new. Of course, like I said, y'all know my name is Jeremy Jones, and what I normally do is make content about sneakers, occasional trial and hauls, and of course, you know we got Music Monday. Sign up for that sold out Discord. Link is pinned at the top of the chat, where of course we continue the sneaker talk. We got a food section, a sports section, fitness section, you name it. So pretty much if I don't get the content out in time, or if something shot drops, or if something's going on and I just can't make a video, they will most likely be talking about it in the Discord, and I'm there as well. And again, we all keep with peace and positivity over there as well. But other than that, I'll see you guys again on Saturday. And yeah, I am officially out this thing, man. Peace.
December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's in purple now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die, let a night know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December, where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crash all I'm out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's in purple now. For the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while. I cried so many nights. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. My heart is cold like December. Where my heart can remember. Tell me to leave her alone. God don't know if I can remember. God don't know if I can remember. I'm drinking honey right now. Hope I don't crush all them out. If you see me out of town, hope I'm wildin' now. Lost my mind to this cup, it's unbearable now. Fuck the store, they run out of Sprite, oh wow. I don't feel bad when I'm high, I can't touch the sky. If I die late at night, know that I was high. Cried so many nights, but said I was fine. For my demons, I can fight them all, I'm on a high. I can play this song back, I'ma cry a while. Oh, I'ma cry a while.